Good morning, and good afternoon, and good evening, depending on your location. My name is Hugh Peterson. I'm the product manager for Standard Imaging, one of the product managers, I should say. And welcome to our Estro webinar series. Today we're going to be talking about the DoseView 1D software, if I can get my presentation moving along. There we go. So one thing we like to say at Standard Imaging is, it's your time, be precise. We make a number of different products that hopefully will help make your job easier and your time more economical as far as doing your quality assurance. A little bit of housekeeping today, real quick. Today's webinar will be recorded, so if you have reason to maybe revisit it and watch it again, or if you have colleagues who might not be able to have made it today and would like to maybe take a look at it, you will be receiving an email with a download link for the recording, so you can watch it in the future as well. Hold off the questions till the end. Any questions? There's a questions box in your dialog box there. You can enter, and I'll address those at the end. Just a quick bit of history as well for Standard Imaging. Based in Middleton, Wisconsin, just outside of Madison, Wisconsin. We have a very good working relationship and history with the University of Wisconsin, including their cancer center and their calibration lab, the accredited calibration lab at the university here. We were founded in 1989, so we just last year celebrated our 30th anniversary. And who would have known that our 31st year would have run into something as challenging and strange as the COVID-19 pandemic? But we're plugging along. So it's an odd year, but we're working through it. And a little bit of history as our products. We started off with a well chamber, which you probably are familiar with. It's probably the most widely used well chamber in the world, our HDR 1000 Plus. We've got a number of different suites of products and for daily, monthly, annual QA, including our water phantoms, our stereotactic phantom Lucy, our line of X-rated and ion chambers, from the smallest of the small of a 0.007 cc ion chamber to our large spherical chambers. And the ion chambers have a long history of good use and robustness. We've got a 5-year warranty on all our ion chambers, because we have very good confidence that they're an excellent unit to do your measurements with. Software as well, our PIPS Pro software for TG142, our I Am Sure secondary check, our Adaptivo, our patient QA software, our log file analysis software, LinacView. So we've got a whole host of products as well. But today, like I mentioned, I'm going to kind of talk about our DoseView 1D. The 1D Phantom's been around for quite a while. We had some basic software with it that we had offered in the past, but recently we've kind of basically started from scratch, if you will, and rewrote the software. We integrated into our DoseView 3D software, which you may or may not be familiar with. But the 3D software, we did the kind of the same thing a couple years back, where we basically tossed out the old and started fresh with a new software platform that's much more intuitive, much more user friendly, and very, very easy to set up. And this new 1D software utilizes the functionality and the web-based layout of the DoseView 3D software. So now we have a DoseView software where a single package will perform all your water phantom operations. If you're looking for a 3D phantom, let us know. We can talk about our DoseView 3D. But again, today, it's just going to be a quick overview. I don't want to keep you too long, because I know some of you are probably attending Estro and virtually, I should say. But wanted to kind of keep this brief to get you back on track to your talks and seminars. But basically, with our Standard imaging tools, our DoseView 1D water phantom with use alongside our Supermax electrometer or Max 4000 and Max 4000 Plus electrometers, and our X-rated line of ion chambers, or like any ion chamber that you choose to use is applicable with this system as well. You know, from farmer chambers to any number of micro chambers, parallel plates, etc. So you can utilize what you have on hand if you don't have an actual X-rated ion chamber. It's pretty agnostic as far as that goes. So as I mentioned, it's a very easy to use web-based software. Very easy left to right, top to bottom navigation like you're used to. There's no what we call hidden features. Everything is at your fingertips, you know, and on screen when you need it. You don't have to go looking through different folders or different tabs to find what you're looking for. Very intuitive menus for the scan queue setup, for the measurement, and for the analysis. And you know, as far as the software goes, like I mentioned, we have a fast queue set up for depth scans of all energies and modalities. The conversion of your depth scans to PDD and then export to PDD tables. We have a selectable forced point at Dmax, so that's a nice feature if you're doing your depth scans and you set up a path that will not necessarily take a measurement at your Dmax point. This will automatically force that measurement, and then it will continue back to its normal path. And then we also have a single point measurement component to it as well. So not only can you do your depth scans, but you can also do your single point measurements very quickly and easily. So I'm going to jump into the software now and just kind of give you a quick overview. Like I said, it's not an in-depth view today. It's going to be more of kind of an overview, kind of a 10,000 foot level. If you do want a more of an in-depth demonstration, we can certainly set that up at the end of the presentation today. There'll be a couple email addresses you can use to contact your regional or area rep, and they can set something up by themselves or with me to run through the software in a more in-depth fashion. But this is the you know, simple splash screen, title screen. You can either choose to go into the 3D side or, in this case, the 1D side. So I'll jump in there. Very easy setup. You set up your clinics and machines. You have your clinics here. I've got a couple demo clinic and a SI clinic. Your detectors, your electrometers, your scan queues, and your preferences. For example, here I'll just show I've got one TrueBeam set up. If I click and drill down a little further, it shows me that I've got 3 energies. I've got 2 photon energies and 1 electron energy, 9 MeV and 6 and 10 MeV. I can easily add to those and edit those if I wanted to. If I add a new machine, or if I add an energy to my machine, upgrading the system, I can add those at any time. And as far as detectors go, this is where you would put your detectors, kind of self-explanatory. Got a few different chambers here. I've got my A28 scanning chambers, my 0.125 cc chambers here. I've got an A18, which is a precursor to the A28. Electrometer tab, this is where you would set your electrometers. As I mentioned, you can utilize both our Max 4000, Max 4000 Plus, or our Supermax. Our Supermax is our 2-channel electrometer. So if you wanted to use a reference chamber with the depth scans, you certainly could with the Supermax. I'm going to jump over scan queues real quick because I want to go in that a little more in depth with you, but I'm going to jump over to preferences. And this is kind of where you set your date format, your time format, your decimal separators, whether typically you're using periods or commas, and your CSV output delimiters too. So when we export in CSV, it'll know what your separators are. So that's the preferences tab. Now going back to the scan queues, this is the easy spot to do your scan queue setup for your QA. Basically, very simply, I can add a new scan set. I want to enter a name. I'll just do maybe, let's see, since it's estro time, we'll call it estro time. And we'll just do call it as a descriptor, as a test. You'll see over here that once I have this information on the general tab finished, I choose I want it in water. I'm going to do electrons today. It'll switch, give you the electron cone. You can choose any modifiers, your wedges or your cutouts. You can do SRS cones. If you're doing photons, you can set it for JAWS or MLC. So it gives you the easy setup functionality here. So you'll see once that is all chosen, it marks this as complete. And things that need to be set are marked in gray, so I can choose my energies. And I'm just going to do a quick 9 MeV scan today. So now when I choose that, that pops up complete. You can add new energies very easily. If I want to do something like 18 MeV, quickly add, shows up in the top here. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have 18 MeV on this machine, so I can quickly delete it as well. So very easy to add and edit machine energies on this Q tab as well. Your field sizes, same thing. For this one, I'm just going to do a 10 by 10 single scan today, but you can also do add different lengths. They don't necessarily have to be square. They can be rectangular as well. But now you'll see that these are all complete. Scan types, because it's a 1D tank, is limited to depth. And scan mode, even though it says complete, you do have a couple options here. Here's that force point at Dmax I was mentioning, so I can go ahead and click that, and I will absolutely get a measurement point at Dmax then. We've got the ability to do single or multiple zones, and by that I mean we can set it up as one resolution all the way through, just one speed, if you will. Multiple, I can set that up, and you'll see now if I have a couple different regions here, I've got zone 1 and zone 2. And zone 1 showing the blue, where you want maybe just a smaller I'm sorry, zone 2 broader resolution of 2 millimeters per second. But if I want to have a little more higher resolution in the Dmax zone, Dmax region, I can change that resolution to 1. So then you'll get much tighter resolution there. And you can also choose your directions up or down. And your zone starts, you can change these accordingly too. So if I want more at zone 1, you can do that, adjust those accordingly. But for this scan, I just want to do a single one, simple scan. So now I'm all complete here. So I save this, and you will see here's my estro time scan at the end. So that's kind of what it is for the setup tab. I can move to my measure tab now. And this is where you set up your hardware quick. You choose your machine, you choose your dose rates. They're pre-configured with defaults, but you can adjust those as you see fit for your settling time, your sample time, and your MU per minute. The water phantom itself, I can set this up. A nice feature we have in both our 3D and our 1D side, we have demo functionality. So you just choose. In this case, I'll choose my demo max 4000 plus. That way, when because we know you don't pull these out, especially on the 3D side, but you don't pull the water phantoms out on a regular basis. They're kind of intermittent. So this gives you the ability to kind of jump back into the software, kind of refamiliarize yourself with it, and kind of just not necessarily relearn it, because it's a very easy software to use. But like I said, refamiliarize yourself with it in between measurements and using the water phantoms. So I'll connect this, and then I will initialize it. So now this is kind of demo initializing behind the scenes, if you will, sampling. Set up my detectors. Automatically will be set up for the A28 here, but you can certainly choose any one you want. I just remember the last one you used. In this case, I'm using a Max 4000, and it's only a single channel, so there will be no reference. If I was using the Supermax, I would have the ability to choose a reference chamber as well. And my electrometer here, I'm going to choose my Max 4000. I need to get in the Max 4000, I need to zero that before I can apply any bias, so I'm doing that right now. So I'm zeroed. I'm going to apply, I'm going to go with 300 volts. So I'm going to apply that. And then my position too, as you want, you can set your position up accordingly. You can move this to your water level, set that as the origin if you want, and then go to any position you want within the water phantom. You can always return back to origin as well. So that's the hardware setup there. Now I'm going to go to my queue, and this is where I would choose to load that queue that I just made. And here it is here, Estro time. And just telling me that check my dose rates, that they are correct, which we did. And it's highly recommended the electrometer be zeroed, which we did. So I can now I can go in, I can normalize. I'm going to normalize that to my 1.3 cm Dmax depth. So I'm moving that to position now, and then when it's there, hit normalize. I'm normalized, and I can close that. Then it's simple enough to basically just start your scan. So you've got the ability to start and pause your scans here. You've got your ability to reload your cues. For some reason, if there was an interlock or an interruption in the beam, something like that, you can just easily reload these cues, and they will start over from scratch. And then if I wanted to take a look at any of the scan info, the queue info, I can click on this too, and that'll bring up that data sheet of the scan queues. This one, since there's only one scan in it, for demo purposes, will just only show that one. But I start my scan, and you'll see that basically it moves to position. In this case, up and shoot. This I did not set my depth right, so this one's gonna take a while because it's starting at 29, and obviously for a electron scan that's not necessary. But anyway, so now it's doing its scan, and what I can do then, I can actually, while it's scanning, I can go in and I can show you my loaded scan here. Let's see, maybe pull up this one. That's a similar scan to what I'm doing now. But now here's your scan result here for this particular one. You can easily change it and convert it to dose. It's sitting in the ion measurement here. You have your convert to dose here in this filter tabs. Different filters. I've got a couple different smoothing filters, a Gaussian and a boxcar. I've got a point edit where you can individually edit points. I've got it normalized to a value. I've got the ability to normalize at max. I've got the ability to normalize at a specific depth. So those are all there as well. I've got the ability to do a shift. And like I mentioned, you can also convert it to dose. So you'll see down here, if I have my my ion set, I can change that to dose. You can choose your protocol, either TG51 or TRS398. And your detector, you can put in your chamber diameter. This actually gets input when you set up the detector itself in the setup tab. You put the chamber diameter in, but you can adjust that accordingly as well, and that'll give you your chamber drop accordingly for your effective point of measurement. So I can go ahead and do that. You'll see down now it actually changes to dose. In this case, it didn't do a lot to the curve itself, but it does have the dose set. I can check my metrics here. I've got my different percentages for the output of this particular scan. So you have that information as well, showing me what filters if I've done any smoothing or any point edit or anything like that. Here it just shows me that I normalized to the value under the TG51 protocol. So those are the filters that I've used. You can go ahead and you can always clear those filters. You can remove the last filter if you're using more than one. You can set up your exports and do your PDDs. So if you want to do a PDD table, you can export it as such. You can import legacy scans. So if you have another DoseView system somewhere, you can import those scans into this. You can also import previous legacy systems such as PTW and IBA. If you have old scanners that you're replacing, You can bring that information in as well. So you've got a number of different capabilities to do with your imports. Export, you can export, like I mentioned, to CSV and your PDDs. It's going to show you some types of different export. You can export it also into various treatment planning systems, of course. The Variant Eclipse, the Electa Monaco, Electa's Aqua QA platform, Pinnacle, Raysearch Rayplan as well. So you have all that capability for your exports as well. And reports you can export. Now we're doing CSV type reporting set up into Excel. We will be adding some PDF improved reporting in the near future as well. That's on the docket for future also. But that's kind of a quick run through. Let me take a peek, and I think we still got a ways to go here. So basically, I forgot to set a decent depth for that one. So, but at the end of the scan here, when it does finish, you'll get an audible tone of a ding telling you that this scan is done. And you'll see that also if you have multiple field sizes, multiple energies, things like that. You'll get those dings, and it'll pause for you to allow you to change any attributes of say the field size or the energy, or change the electron cone, things like that. You'll always have that ding to remind you that the scan is done, and it will alert you that something needs to be done for the setup of the next scans. But I think basically that's a quick run through. Like I said, very easy to set up, very easy to set your scans up. Gives you full analysis tools for the depth measurements, export to PDD, things like that. All available to you for the scanning of your 1D your monthly QA. So I'm going to quick jump back into the presentation here. And just a quick summary, like I said, the software, as you saw, is very easy navigation, left to right, top to bottom, like you're used to with any Windows type or Mac type environment. You have very quick queue setup, and you have something I didn't show, but there are easy copy and editing functions. So if you set up a queue for one energy, you can grab that, just change the batch energy, so you don't have to go through and change the energy on every scan. You can pick a set of scans, copy that, edit to a new function of your energy. Say if you want to go from 6 to 10, but have the same scan set as far as field sizes and depths, you can easily edit that. Like I said, no hidden features. Everything is right there at your fingertips. Has step scanning with multiple zone resolution, as I had mentioned. So you can set up a higher resolution in the DMAX area if you prefer. Easy conversion to depth dose, actually to depth dose curves for your PDDs from the ionized measurement. Export PDD tables, import functionality of your legacy scan data from older systems if you want to bring that in for comparison. And like I mentioned, very straightforward post-scan processing and metrics at your fingertips as well. And there we go. So that's kind of all I have for you today. Like I said, I wanted to keep it brief, just give you a kind of a 10,000-foot level overview. Feel free to check out our website, standardimaging.com/ESTRO2020 for some more ESTRO timed webinars. Otherwise, feel free to contact sales@standardimaging.com. That will get directed to the specific rep or for your region or area, depending on where you're at. or if you have any questions for me as product manager, hpeterson@standardimaging.com. But otherwise, that's all I have for you today. Let me see if there's any questions. Don't see any questions listed. So if, like I said, you have any questions after the fact, feel free to let me know. That was the audible notifier that the scan is done. So you can see that you actually can do other things, and the scans will continue in the background. But anyway, feel free to contact us with any questions you may have. Like I mentioned earlier, you will be receiving a link to this webinar. So if you want to share it with colleagues, or if you want to look at it again, just kind of take a peek at the software again, that's great. Feel free to do so. And again, feel free to contact us with any more questions or needs. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day or evening, and I hope you all stay safe and well. Thanks very much.